Good morning, and it's good to be here. So I have a presentation for you, and the goal is to introduce you to the administration team, to stewardship, and to membership at St. John's. Please feel free to ask questions as they arise. So as we introduced earlier, I'm Sarah. I'm St. John's Executive Administrator, and I am the only full-time member of our admin team. There we go, and there's the team. My goal is to work collaboratively with Jared, members of the vestry, and volunteers to support St. John's vision, mission, ministries, and our core values. My work is focused in 5 key functions of the organization. I provide administrative, planning and coordinating guidance and support. I'm always here to bounce ideas off of, to figure out the best way to approach something, suggest people to connect with, and to make sure we're operating within applicable policies and laws. So as per Jan's questions, if you are interested in getting connected or getting involved in something, I'd probably be a good person to connect with. In collaboration with St. John's Treasurer, we were just talking about, I provide financial guidance and support. To assist with this work, I lead 2 volunteer teams, the Stewardship Committee, which we've mentioned, and if you were in church this morning, you would have seen us bringing forward, or some of the members, bringing forward the pledges and blessing the pledges. I also oversee the counters. They're on hiatus during the pandemic, but normally they count the offerings and they do the banking. I also liaise with our contracted accountants. With support from the Personnel Committee, I assist with hiring and administration of St. John's employees. And in partnership with St. John's Building Manager, I oversee use of our parish building and grounds. This includes facility use policies and requests, liaising with groups using our facility, and coordinating special services such as weddings and funerals, and for the last 18 months, managing COVID protocols. And finally, I also oversee St. John's Communications and our increasing media functions. This is our latest addition to the team. This is Ollie, the owl, to help us do hybrid meetings and ministry. Seriously, when we registered, they made us name it, so we named it Ollie. And then Ellie is St. John's media assistant, works up to 15 hours a week. I have to say I'm incredibly proud of both the volume and quality of St. John's media, especially in comparison with other parishes of our size. The communications model that we have successfully developed is one of facilitation and empowerment. We are all communicators and evangelists. We just need a platform and a mic, and that is what Ellie provides. Ellie uses her specialist skills in desktop publishing and technology development to create templates and tools for St. John's staff and volunteers to communicate their messages. I will be reviewing a few of the ways that you can access these messages at the end of the presentation. But as you join ministries, as you get involved, and you want to get the word out about your ministries, Ellie is the one to go to, and she will help you figure out the best way to do it. And then finally, Hannah is St. John's administrative assistant. She works up to 10 hours a week. You will often find her Sunday mornings in the office because she runs parish office. She keeps our records in check, coordinates altar flowers and memorial gifts. So if you're interested in those, please contact Hannah. And she administers Safe Church at St. John's. Safe Church is the Episcopal Church's program to foster a culture of safety and inclusion for all. It includes policies and guidelines, training and background checks. Hannah has created a helpful packet that summarizes the policies and requirements. A copy is in your packet. I pray that you will read them, join the training sessions, and commit to St. John's Code of Conduct. We do ask everybody to read the Code of Conduct and to initial and sign it and return it to us. And it's just promising that you are going to follow the guidelines for keeping everybody in our community safe, including yourselves. And this is maybe an example of what you were asking about. The way that the Safe Church policy and many of our policies work is that the national church or the diocese will create their policy. They will send it to us for review. We will review it, and then the vestry will vote on whether to adopt it or not, or whether to make any changes before we adopt it, things like that. So that's where those kind of recommendations come, and then we have the ability to adapt it to what works for us. And Safe Church is one of those. So any questions on the admin team? Okay, we'll take a look at membership. So the Episcopal Church believes membership is a gift from God, and the church's role is to welcome and nurture, not to create barriers. At St. John's, we take that very seriously. In our collect that we say together every Sunday, we proclaim that we may welcome all people into this community of faith. That means anyone that is showing up by worshiping regularly, making financial contributions, volunteering at or through the church, attending programs or special events, is considered part of the St. John's family. As with most families, we'd like to get to know each other better and acknowledge our relationship. You are all taking one of those steps to do that by attending these basic classes. So that you can learn about us and our faith, and we can get to know you. We also invite you to register in our database. See if this works. So that we can be in contact with each other, and that you can do that through the website. If this will, no, it's not going to show it. Okay. But when you get to the website, if you go to there's a member menu on the top right-hand side, and that will, and that will have something in it called My St. John's. And you want to click on My St. John's, and then there's a login, and underneath the login is new user. Yes, new user. Click on new user and fill in the registration form then, and that will create an account for you in our database. We call it My St. John's. And Cameron reviews all the requests to join, because we like to be careful that we're not letting just anybody in. And then he'll approve that, and you'll get a password. You can get into there, and that will give you ability to update your records, access your giving information, and our parish directory. So that's where you can look up other members. It's great if you'll upload a picture, because then people, sometimes you know each other by sight as opposed to name. So it's a good way of being able to connect and get involved in the parish. So that's the database. And then soon there's going to be an opportunity for you to be officially welcomed in the parish on a Sunday. And at that point, we recognize you as welcomed members of St. John's. Now, some of you may want to take your membership further and become official members of the National Episcopal Church. As stated in the Book of Common Prayer, the church is the body of which Jesus Christ is the head, and of which all baptized persons are members. So membership of the Episcopal Church is simply defined by baptism. No applications, no screenings, no dues, just baptism. If you have been baptized in another Christian community, you can complete a letter of transfer, and there is a copy in your packets. And you can submit that to myself or Cameron, and that we will transfer your records. And that's it. You are there, a member. If you have not been baptized previously, Jared would be delighted to work with you on making that happen, so you can get baptized at St. John's. He would also love to work with you on getting confirmed if you would like to do that, or being received by the bishop into the Episcopal faith. All of those actions will make you a member of the Episcopal Church. Now, finally, the Episcopal Church recognizes as communicants in good standing those members who are baptized, who regularly attend church services, and have been faithful in working, praying, and giving for the spread of the kingdom of God. So this might seem a little complicated. It can take a little while to digest. There's a more detailed version of this in your packets. So take your time, but you can also always talk to Cameron or myself about membership and what's right for you. But do you have any questions now about membership? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, transferring of your records is an administrative procedure. You will give us the information on that form. We send it off to your prior parish. They will transfer your records to us, and then you're now, instead of being on their rolls, you're on our rolls. You're still a member of the Episcopal Church. Receiving is a sacramental rite, if I'm correct. And that is where you've probably come from outside the Episcopal faith. Maybe you were in a different denomination before. And it's during a service, the bishop, he will officially receive you into the Episcopal Church.
It depends. If your faith tradition is Roman Catholicism, or I believe Lutheranism, you become received. So I grew up Roman Catholic. I was received into the church. You want to check with Jared, because sometimes what needs to happen is you're baptized, that's fine, but then because you're from such a different enough faith tradition that you might need to have confirmation.
Usually it's confirmation or reception. Jared will be able to advise you which one is the best one, given your background. But yeah, both of them will bring you into the Episcopal faith. Okay, any other questions on membership? Okay, so giving for the spread of the kingdom of God leads us nicely into stewardship. So at St. John's, we believe stewardship of our time and finances is the way we make our faith tangible. We give out of gratitude for all that God has given us, because there are needs that cannot be met without our help, and because it reminds us to trust that God will provide what we need. Every fall, we have a commitment campaign where we ask all members to let us know their intentions for the coming year. We would like to know what you think you will be able to contribute financially and of your time and talent, but don't panic. We're not going to hold your feet to the fire. We know that it's just an estimate, and we know life happens. But it is good to have these estimates, because this helps our leadership budget and plan responsibly. And as you heard, our finance committee and our treasurer are very responsible about how they manage the parish's resources, and they want to make sure that they're not budgeting for more than we can expect to receive. So at this point, I'm usually asked, so before I open it up to questions, I'm going to answer the question. At this point, I'm usually asked questions about how much to give. And that's a very hard question to answer, because it's so personal. It's dependent on your unique situation and your relationship to God, because that's really what it's about. It's about what you have been blessed with and what you can give back. Some people find that giving a proportion of their income helps them make giving back a priority. But I'd also like to share our giving tree. And I apologize, this one is a little old because things have been different during the pandemic, and let's just hope that this goes away soon and we can get back to things looking normal. But as you can see, there's a diversity of giving at St. John's, from $100 a year to $30,000 a year. So there's a spot for everyone, and every donation counts. It's because there are so many donors that the middle tiers contribute just as much as the upper ones. There is no expectation or judgment. All we ask is that you contribute something. Be a part of the impact our congregation is having in the world. My best suggestion is to pray on it, consider your own situation, and for all that you are grateful. Maybe look at the gift tree and pick an amount that feels comfortable. However, stewardship isn't just about money, it's about volunteering God's given time and talent. Our mission invites you to consider how you have been uniquely formed so that you might show forth your service to God in your service to others. Where do your passions, values, and strengths meet the world's needs? To help you discern our spiritual gifts, there is an assessment tool, including this discernment wheel, in your packets. Now, myself, Cameron, all the clergy would be happy to review your findings and the opportunities to serve in and through the church. So encourage you to take a look at that assessment, answer the questions. I personally found it very helpful. It's actually what led me to my current vocation. And then talk to somebody about how you can use the findings. This discernment wheel is up here, and in there should be it's on the back page. If you look at the last page of the assessment.
Sarah, I'm only seeing the left side of the slide.
Oh, sorry, is that better?
No,
That isn't any better, Phil?
no, it's, I can see the words, the discernment wheel and the paragraph underneath it. And that's, and Frederick Buchner's name, and that's all of it. And just a tiny bit of some kind of a circle to the right.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Let me see if I can change that. Phil, what are you seeing now?
Oh, that's much better.
Okay, sorry about that. We're still getting used to this new technology. This is the first day we're using it.
No, yeah, I'm just missing a tiny bit of the left side.
Yeah, it's not quite showing up for us either, but
Okay.
I think that's just the centering and the screen.
Okay, that's fine, thanks.
You know, there's things you can do as a young couple that I've been here a long time. Ushering is a great way to get that. Sort of so you see my
So did you find? Did you find the wheel in the packet? Great, awesome. And so, as you will know, if you're in church today, we're just wrapping up this year's campaign, and we'd love for you to invest yourselves through the resources that God has given you, your energy, your prayers, and your money in this work to which God has called St. John. So if you haven't already, please complete a commitment card. There's one in your packets, and you can leave them with me today. Any other questions about stewardship? Okay, I'm going to wrap up with just a few of the ways that you can stay connected. In your packets, there's a full list of all the different ways that you can do that. Most of them can be accessed through our website. That's really a good starting point. And I'm sorry, I can try again to see if I can get to the website from here, but this link wasn't working earlier. Yeah, it's not working for you, so I apologize. So I will just talk you through it. So when you get to the website, on the right-hand side, there's a menu called About, and in there is a section called Stay Connected, and that is where you can sign up for parish emails. You can access our magazine that comes out every other month. There's all the different Facebook groups that we have. There's several. We have not just the main St. John's one, but we also there's a Sacred Music Facebook group. There's a Children, Youth and Family Facebook group that would be great for you guys to get on. And so do take a look there at the things that would fit you. And then at the top, there's those short little button keys at the top. And there's one that you can read our blog. There's a blog that clergy and staff write. There's a link to our main Facebook page. There's also a link to our YouTube channel, which is where you'll find all of our services and sermons and Faith Forum recordings. And I would just encourage you to explore the website in general. There's lots of information there to get connected, to learn about our ministries, our history, and what's going on. Any questions? All right, that's all I have for today until we are ready to close, and then I have a closing prayer. Would you like me to do that? Or? Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks.
Gracious God, creator and provider of all good things, help us represent Christ and his church to bear witness to him wherever we may be, and according to the gifts given to us, to carry on Jesus' work of reconciliation in the world, and take to our place in the life, worship, and governance of the church. Almighty and everlasting God, strengthen us with your Holy Spirit and grant us all things necessary to follow Jesus, to come together week by week to worship and to work, pray, and